sure you've been made aware of the recent great news for limited government. A record-breaking snowstorm hit the Washington, D.C. area this past weekend, with more than 75 million people on the East Coast feeling the impact of this weather phenomenon. Well, how does this translate into good news and limited government, Jake? Well, the weather forced the federal government to shut down all of its offices. Senate will not be returning until Wednesday, and the House of Representatives will not return until next week. It appears that Divine Providence has given the American people a rest from additional regulations to their liberties. Government and their parasitical bureaucracies have often strangled, suffocated, and murdered priceless divinely born rights. Let me explain. Imagine that you recently contracted with the security company U.S.G.O.V. to employ a guard to secure your estate and possessions. You give specific directives that are specifically written out and signed by the company and yourself. For example, the U.S. Constitution. With your possessions secured, i.e. unalienable rights, and your house in order, you take an extended business trip to acquire new opportunities for your personal enterprise. By much labor and exertion, you successfully secure the opportunities you sought and are delighted to return to the security of your personal residence, i.e. private property. When you arrive, you find all of your priceless family heirlooms have been sold, and in their place are new U.S.G.O.V. articles of propaganda. Your personal office, living room, and bedrooms have become occupied by U.S.G.O.V. security officers who quickly escort you out of the home into your son's tree fort, where you notice 3 or 4 of your belongings necessary for living. Before the agents leave your new residence, they inform you that all the locks have been changed on your doors, and that the security company and its many subsidiary agencies have claimed your assets. However, for an annual fee, they have made them available to you. In order to continue to protect you, they make you aware of the personal tracking system they have placed in your U.S.G.O.V.-issued cell phone. Lastly, you are informed of a daily updated list regulating acceptable uses of your former assets that you now rent. You would likely be perplexed, astonished, and perhaps thrilled at the prospect of the U.S.G.O.V. taking a day off. Well, thankfully, the divine author of our rights never takes a day off. Our rights are, in the words of founding father and president John Adams, antecedent to all earthly governments, rights that cannot be repealed or restrained by human laws, rights derived from the great legislator of the universe. Drawing on the example given by the great legislator, there was one branch of federal government that maintained its work through the weekend's tumultuous weather. You could find them at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the oldest active infantry unit in the United States Army, the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. A tweet this weekend resounded from them: "I will guard everything within the limits of my post and quit my post only when properly relieved." Like the heroic Old Guard's centuries, the laws of nature and nature's God have been obligated by the benevolent hand of Providence to be a guard of our individual rights, never taking a day off. Follow these examples. Don't let your rights atrophy for lack of exercise. Government is not God, and we are not born slaves. Take your post of vigilance that liberty would perpetuate in truth, and may posterity bless your name. This is Jake MacAulay with the Institute on the Constitution, bringing you the American View.